Well, I am not a happy camper at all, but there's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is, and the Blues are now in a 3-1 hole. Game 5 will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, so 7 o'clock. So you guys get the early game you wanted for Game 5, right? For the massacre. Honestly, I don't see the Blues winning in Colorado. I really don't. Maybe we'll get lucky and they do, but you know, and 5 goals, 3 to Kadri, 3 to a non-goal scorer. You know what can I say? It's absolute junk. Um, there are good losses and bad wins, and bad losses and then drinking. Yes, Ashley. So she's not coming on, man. Huso is garbage, and unfortunately, we are over. You know, Jake says tough game. To me, this thing, need Bennington. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, Bennington's out. I think it is too. Unfortunately, I do. I think that, and I also can't understand why the refs like to keep their whistles in their pocket unless it's an absolute dead on. Oh my God, I have to call it. Otherwise, they just let it go. And then the 5-on-3, that was horseshit. That should have never been called. Right? The words are, we're done. I'm sorry. I think we're done. I'm not going to do a full show. I might do 20 minutes, I don't know who's going to join me. I don't know about the passengers. I think that the game plan was off, right? At least in my eyes. What else are we gonna do? You know what? Give Chucky Sideburns a shot. Huso is 1-4 in the playoffs. 1-4. Right? I think only 3 shots on goal. No, did they only have 3 shots on goal in the third? No, they couldn't have. Right? Got a Barbie sucks, right? Tank sucks. Tank did not have as bad of a game as you think, in my eyes. We are outshot. And can't stop Kadri. Yeah, I'll tell you what. They gave Kadri as much, help. The refs gave Kadri all the leeway he wanted, right? You notice that? Because that should have been, he cross-checks Bushnevich and doesn't get called for it, but he gets 2 cross-checks called on him, against him, right? I'm sorry, Marco, I'm not happy. I feel like we were screwed over on this game.
Understandable. At the end, though, the game became
we didn't play great either. I mean, we only took 3 shots in the first, right? And I don't know what we took in the second and the third. I don't have it pulled up here yet.
I think you guys had, 18 shots. Was it 20 shots? Oh, at the end of the night, I think it was.
The Blues ended up with 20 shots, right, to 37. There it is. You gave up 37, and Huso gave up soft goal. Gave up that last one was a soft goal to Kadri. That was soft as can be.
I think he was thinking Rantanen was going to take the shot. I don't think he was expecting Kadri to come in and take a shot because Rantanen had the puck. He could have shot the puck, and he just stood there and fake shot and let Kadri come in.
I disagree. I don't think the Avalanche are a better team. You keep freaking Bennington there, and we're just as good as they are. They're not a better team. They are not a better team. I'm sorry. I will say that completely.
You also got to look at it this way. On that last shot, I don't care what goalie you are. You got Mikko Rantanen, Nazem Kadri staring at you, and your players are nowhere near that puck at that moment. 9 times out of 10, that puck's going in, no matter how you look at it.
But well, here's the thing. That's true, but you got to make the stops you're not supposed to make, and Huso doesn't.
Yeah,
he does not. He only saved 1 breakaway. Odd man rush. He saved 1. The other 3 he faced, he gave up 2 goals. Right? The other 2 he faced, he gave up 2 goals. So, it is what it is.
Is this why St. Louis fans are so easy to give up on goalies?
It might be. Well, here's the problem. Wendy. This isn't new. right? This isn't new. We saw a different Huso in the regular season, but the Huso we're seeing now is the same Huso that we saw last season. Giving up early goals, giving up breakaways, giving up odd man rushes. Of course, tanking your eyes, you like to call players out, but you don't like. That's good analysis. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, did Tarasenko have a good game, bad game, or indifferent?
I say Tarasenko definitely had a good game. He was in a lot of spots where no one could find him. He was taking the shots he needed to. He was being annoying in in the boards, coming out there waiting. It's just tonight, the biscuit wasn't going his way. And when it did, it was poles.
Right? What do you think there, Wendy?
Basically agree on the same statement that.
So I'm not the only one that sits there and says that he doesn't. A lot of these guys, if he doesn't score or take 15 shots, he's not good. Right? We're not out. Well, see, I disagree with this. The only thing that Colorado is better is speed. Right? They kept the pressure on St. Louis in their own zone. When St. Louis was in the zone, Colorado was there. And what that does, and St. Louis never took advantage of it. St. Louis never took advantage of it. If they're going to keep people in the zone, that means the guys up forward are going to be open. And they don't get that pass out. They're not good at that stretch pass. And Colorado forced them into bad situations. Right?
Yeah.
And I give that to them.
Especially with our forwards. Our forwards for the Avs, countless amount of times, if you look at it, our forwards
the series, in all actuality, the series not over. St. Louis is a good enough team to come back. St. Louis is a good enough team to come back. Will they? I don't know. Huso has to play 100% better, and the Blues have to get scoring from other guys, and they have to take the game to Colorado, and they haven't. Right? Mm-hmm. Tommy, in a way, yeah, okay. I get that. Disagreeing with me about Colorado being better, is elusive with the puck. They're just faster with the puck to me. Right? Bad Jeff, don't stroke guy, tank is lazy, miss the net, cancer. Well, if that's what you think, that's what you think. I don't think he is. Sorry to say, it'll take a miracle, maybe. But anytime you come down, you're down 3-1, it'll take a miracle. So,
I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? I'm almost to the point where I think Lindgren needs to come in. I really do. Right?
That's the guy with the weird mustache, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen him yet. So
he's 5-0. He's 5-0 this season. Right, he's nothing more than an AHL goalie, and he might get tore up by Colorado. However, there's I don't know what else to do.
That's never the right decision to go to your third string goalie. It's right? Not.
Well,
unless you're in Colorado and have no choice.
Yeah,
because if you look at the beginning of Colorado season, we didn't know if it was going to be Cooper, Francouz, or. Who was it? I forget the
Tommy. I agree with this one. Tommy says we had so many chances to control this game and we let dumb emotions get in our head. I'll agree with that.
And I said that at the last intermission. If they keep letting Kadri distract them, Avs are taking this game, and they kept letting Kadri distract them and opened up the ice. And in the playoffs, the slightest inch of any room,
Tommy makes a good point. We won the cup with our third string goalie in 19.
Yeah, but he became the full-time starter at the midway point of the season. That's not making your third streamer win the cup.
Right.
You guys had bad goaltending the first half of the season, and then they gave up on them and they went to Bennington.
Actually, I think Lindgren's our fourth string goalie. Right?
Lindgren, I've seen him play when he was in Montreal. He was not a good goalie in Montreal. He's not an NHL full-time backup. He's an AHL starter, but a fringed third string goalie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Justin says, I agree. Lindgren deserves a chance. I already know what we are getting from Husso. Lindgren came in early in the season and provided a nice spark. That's the season. I hope not. I think the Blues, if the Blues can win in Colorado and bring this back to St. Louis, that could, I don't know. I want to see it go 6. I honestly want to see it go 6.
If that happens, that would be huge for St. Louis. I think if the Avs allow them to take that last game, if they lose in Colorado, if the Avs lose back here in Denver, St. Louis has a huge chance to take the series because all the momentum that switches right back on to St. Louis going right back into Enterprise. So Colorado has no choice. They have to win this game or else.
Tommy says, I want to see it go 7, guy. I'd like to see it go 7, too. I just don't think it is.
I think all hockey fans want to see any series go to 7 games. Well, unless you want to see that. If you guys remember last time Ottawa was in my hometown team. Ottawa was in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, you'll see here. We talked about this in the pregame, right? About all that stuff going to Kadri, all those threats and that, and how that could fire Kadri up.
Yep.
Remember me saying that? Remember me talking about that? That was the thing I was worried about.
And I basically said it's going to light a fire under his ass, and he could potentially put up 2 goals, and then he put up a hat trick tonight. So.
Yeah. Right. If you're Berube, what changes do you make? I don't know. It's simply this. Right? I go to Scandella and I go to Krug and I find out if they skated today, right? If you guys can skate, right? Because we need them. Plain and simple, you need them. You need that defense, and you got to get off the 11-7, right? Because you're tiring out down that late. The one good thing, well, they ended up getting the empty netter, but they had the goalie pulled for almost 2 minutes before they finally scored at the very end of the game. Right.
You could tell Nico wasn't happy about it neither. He didn't even want to take the shot. He just kind of looked over and was like, I'm just going to tap this. Right. He really didn't even want to. But, hey, guy, I got to go real quick. I got to go take care of some
problem.
stuff.
I'm probably not going to do a long show tonight. I'm so disgusted, and I'm probably going to try and write about this debacle. So I probably won't do a good show. It's great to have you, Marco. Hopefully we'll see you Wednesday. Wednesday's an earlier game. Oh, you'll be at the game, though, won't you?
Yeah, I will try my best to try to find a place where I can do the intermission.
And you got to swipe me a Tarasenko stick, man. Tarasenko stick or a puck signed by him.
That guy,
say again?
When the stars of other teams come into the building, I swear, like Argus security at Ball Arena, you can't even get within like a centimeter of them. You even ask them a question, they're like, "Sir, get back to your post," and you're like, okay, I'm supposed to be down here.
Yeah. I get you, man. Well, any chance you get. All right. Thanks, Marco. We'll talk to you later, bud.
Bye.
Bye now. Got you for a little bit, Wendy, or are you going to leave me alone to wallow in my sorrows?
Stay on.
No one wants to say it, but when you're an elite player like people say Tarasenko is, you need to show up in any he needs to score goals. I'll admit that. Tarasenko needs to score goals. He's had chances and hasn't put it in the back of the net. He has to, right? The 5-on-3 was horse crap. That should have not been called. That should have been, and anything, it should have been a 5-on-4. Kadri should have gotten a penalty on that too.
He got jumped.
Go back. Before that, he cross-checks Bushnevich, and then Perron comes after him.
Retaliation by both Bushnevich and Perron happened, though.
I disagree, but I mean, that's just the way I'm going to see it. I know I'm never going to see it that way.
You know how
Tarasenko showed up. I thought he played well. I thought he did too. Tarasenko should have done a Michigan goal. Well, you know what? If that's the way he needs to get a goal, then he needs to get a goal.
Does Tarasenko have the ability to do a Michigan?
I don't know. I've never seen him try.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some players don't have the ability to do the Michigan. That's a
All right.
tough move
Well,
to
Husso
pull
has
off.
played himself affordable. Yeah. Well, Husso's cost himself a lot of money these playoffs. A lot of money.
I don't think so.
He's 1-4 in the playoffs. He pitched a shutout, and since he's pitched a shutout, he's given up. Let's see, 5, 10. He's given up almost 20 goals in 4 games.
It's also his first playoff.
You know, that doesn't matter. If you're going to be a starter in this league, you need to be able to perform well in the playoffs. And giving up 20 goals in 4 games doesn't. And that's not even full 4 games. That's 3 and 7/8. Right? I'd love to know what his GAA is right now. It's got to be through the roof. Right?
I can pull it up.
Let's see if I can. I don't know. I don't know if this will be goalie stats summary. I don't know if it'll pull up. I know this is.
Yeah, it
I don't.
does.
Say again.
I'm about to have it up in a second. This was how many games has he played in the playoffs so far?
5. So this is updated. 376 with an 884 save percentage. Right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that's not going to cost him money? Right? 18 goals against. He's given up 18 goals against in 4 games. All right, because his one win, he had a shutout. So in his 4 losses, he's given up 18 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think he's given up 2 hat tricks. If not, I think 2 hat tricks. Maybe more, maybe 3. Right?
Did Kaprizov score the hat trick against him?
Kaprizov got a hat trick. He had a hat trick today. I don't know if you had one last night, but he's given up at least 2 hat tricks. Well, actually, I don't know if Kaprizov's hat trick was on him. I think Kaprizov got an empty netter, but still, you know, it well, I mean, it's going to come down to how well he play. How well the team plays. Well, here's the thing, guy. You want us to do nothing but bitch. You want to do nothing but bitch about Husso. Okay. It's all we have, like complaining about John Casey in 96. It's not like we're trying to lose. It's all we got. I'll tell you what, John Casey played a hell of a lot better in 96, especially in the elimination game until the very end than Husso has. And he's right. You're right. He's not all we got. You still have Lindgren. The guy has given up 18 goals. 18 goals in 4 games, less than 4 games. Right? You take out, because he's not gone to overtime, so you take out, let's figure this out real quick. Hold on a second. Let me go back to where we were. Right? So he's got 287 minutes. So you take 60 out of that. See if I can do this right. Right? So let's see. You might be better at this than me. 287, and I'll leave the .02 minus 60 because that's what he got in the first one. That's 227.02. So we'll say 227 minutes. Divide that by 60, and that's 3.78 games. So I was pretty close, and he's given up 18 goals. So 18 divided by 3.78. Is that right, Winnie?
Yeah.
4.76. That's what his average is. That's what his goals against average is. Actually, a little bit higher than that because I didn't put all the the other numbers down the side. But 4.76 in the 4 games. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not whether or not he's an NHL goalie, but at this point, you can't. I mean, Husso hasn't gotten the job done. I mean, do you think the team supports Husso completely? Right?
The team doesn't all fall on the goalie. You know that, right?
Okay, that you're right. How many of these 5 goals would you put on Husso?
I would say 2.
I put 3. Right? I put 3 of them. That and again, you got to make the saves you're not supposed to make. You got to be that goal. You know, if you're going to be an elite goalie, you're going to be an elite playoff goalie, you got to make the saves you're not supposed to make. I'll tell you, watch Bennington walking around. I'll tell you, if there's any chance Bennington can go in Game 5, he's going in Game 5. Even though they said he's out for the series, I think he's gonna see how, he's gonna ice that knee. He's gonna do what he needs. I bet you, if he thinks he can go, he'll go in Game 5.
I don't think so.
Right?
I can't see that happening. It's the doctors who have to clear him, and they said he's out for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
So the doctors probably won't go around and say you're cleared. There's a little bit of a issue if you're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only other thing that I can say, Scott, Husso's not the answer. Look, all I got to say is it's not that I want to bash Husso. I don't want to bash Husso. But it's his job to stop pucks. Right? It is. That's his job. And he has not, in the last 4 games he's played, he has not stood up and done the things that he needed to do. You'll see Linger in the net before they rush Benner back, possibly. I disagree, Nick. I don't think the Avs are the better team. I really don't. I really do not. I do not think that they're the better team, and I'm going to stick by that. I think these teams are a lot closer than people think they are. Right?
I think it's closer so I would agree the Avalanche are the better team.
I think they're a lot more even than people think.
I agree. It's a close matchup, but I just think a slight edge is in favor for
a slight edge is a 7-game series, going 7 games. 5-1, this is because we're missing players that have been injured in the playoffs. That's got something to do with it. And then we have guys that haven't stepped up. Husso's one. Bushnevich is one, even though he helped out tonight. Tarasenko has not scored a goal in this series. I agree with that. Right? The defense hasn't, we've gotten 2 goals from our defensemen. We were one of the best teams in the league in getting goals from our defensemen. We've gotten 2. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at on this. Oilers have played the Avs tough this year. A lot of teams have played the Avs tough this year. My concern is the way the refs call these games. Right? And I've said that before. The Avs are the least penalized team in the playoffs so far, and they played more, especially in the second round. They played more games than anybody else. They're the only them and the Blues are the only ones that played 5 games, and they're still the least penalized team in the league.
Well, it does help that they also played 4 games in their last series.
Well, no, I'm talking just in the second round. Just in the second round.
But that's also the fact they are one of the most disciplined teams in the league. They were
No, they weren't. They were not. They were the 11th most penalized team in the league. They were at the top in penalties. They were one of the most penalized teams in the league, and all of a sudden, the whistles get put away. In these playoffs, the whistles have been put away on them. In 8 games, let me see where they're at. And this is everything, right? In 8 games, they went from being the 11th most at the top third of the league to the bottom. To in 8 games, they only have 24 penalties called against them. The only teams that have less penalties called against them are Pittsburgh and Nashville, and that is those teams. Pittsburgh had 7 games, Nashville had 4. Capitals had 6 games, 25 penalties. Kings, 7 games, 27 penalties. Minnesota Wild, 6 games, 30 penalties. Dallas Stars, 7 games, 31 penalties. Maple Leafs, 7 games, 36 penalties. Boston Bruins, 7 games, 41 penalties. So tell me why all of a sudden the whistles have been put away with this team in the playoffs. They haven't been more disciplined, but they've gotten away with a lot.
Some teams changed their style of play going into the playoffs.
They had referees that called. How many penalties got called tonight in the first game? Do you know?
Wasn't it 3 in the first game?
No. In tonight's first game, tonight's game against the.
Pull it up. Hang on.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here real quick. Game summary: the Panthers and the Lightning. These are the same refs that refs game 1 of the Blues and Avalanche, and then they refed game 2 of the I think it was game 2 of the, what do you call it? The Battle of Alberta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They called 7 penalties tonight. They called 3 against St. Louis and Colorado altogether. They called 18 in the Battle of Alberta. This game here is what they're normally calling, right? That the 7. I'm telling you, for some reason, the refs are putting their whistles away when Colorado plays, and that favors them 5-on-5. That absolutely favors them 5-on-5. Their penalty kill was one of the worst in the league, 76%. Bottom half of the league, yet all of a sudden they don't get penalties called on them. I'm sorry, my conspiracy theory pyramid's on, right? And I've been tracking this. I noticed it. In fact, it was you that helped bring this up to me with the refs. Oh, well, here's these refs that call penalties, and now they're not calling penalties. They go to another game and they call 18 penalties. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Okay, I get it. It's the series. Then they go to the next game and they call 8 penalties. Hold on, something's rotten in Denmark. Blues had 5 power. No, they didn't have 5 power plays. They had 3. They had 3 power plays. And then they got a 5-on-3 called on them. 5-on-3 called on them that shouldn't have been. Right? Throw away the aluminum foil, my friend. No, I'm sorry. The tinfoil hat is out. Right? The tinfoil hat is out. Any last words, Nick?
No.
But so you're saying is that there were no missed calls in this game, that there were no obvious missed calls in this game.
I'm not.
There were no
saying
stick
that.
holds, sticks taken away. None of that didn't get called.
I'm not saying it like that.
That's what somebody else in here was saying.
But
right?
Yeah, there are missed calls every game. But tonight, what I saw played out, the Avalanche were playing a game to get to game 5 with a 3-1 series lead. That's what I was seeing, and I didn't see I was seeing that they wanted to try and just win this game without trying to play stupid. They took too many penalties that led to power play goals against, and that's what cost them. Yes, I agree. Their PK sucks. They don't know what they're doing on the PK, but this is the playoffs. Stuff like this will happen where teams go into the playoffs. They are facing officials that maybe they put the whistle in the pocket for the game. Maybe they don't. And you're going to get either pissed off every game or you're not. That's what happens, and that's what playoff hockey does.
Oh, actually, okay, I was right. The Blues were 2 for 4 on they did get 4 called against them. Right? They got 4 called against they are call. Oh, actually, wrong one. I'm looking at the wrong one. Hold on. No, the Blues only had 3 power plays. Right? The Blues only had 3 power plays. Yeah, they had 3 power plays. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong game summary. Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. Let me get the right one. Game summary. Make sure I get it right. 1, 2. Okay, no. The Blues were 2 for 4. 2 for 4. McCarr for no, actually that's not right. They called 4 penalties, but the first one was there were only 3 power plays. There were only 3 power plays because one of them was a matching minors was a 4-on-4.
Yeah.
So the Blues only had 3 power plays. They were 2 for 3 on the power play.
Yeah.
2 for 3. I thought so. I was pretty sure about that. So they were 2 for 3. There were 4 called, but one of them was a matching minor, which benefits Colorado. Right? The matching minor benefits when you go 4-on-4, that benefits Colorado. Right? Not in this case. The Colorado's got the speed of your team. 4-on-4. That's why the Blues didn't do well in overtime this year. In 3-on-3 overtime, they just weren't speedy.
Yeah, when you have open ice, Avalanche are one of the best teams to do it. If it's like 4-on-4 or 3-on-3, they're one of the best teams to play that style of hockey.
Well, sorry about looking at the wrong game. I thought I pulled, but I was right. There was 2 There was 2 for 3 on the power play. Right? They called 4, 5, 6, I think 7 penalties, and that was close. These refs were closer to what their numbers were.
Mm-hmm.
But the refs we've had in the past have called a lot less than what their numbers were. Right? Even Wes McCauley and the other guy, McCauley's pretty good, called less.
When did you guys have Wes?
Say again?
When did Wes call officiate
Game 3.
one of the games?
Game 3.
Oh, he was in Game 3. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I don't even want to comment on this. That's a kind of I'm sorry, I'm not going to comment on it. Blues do better 4-on-4, more so than they do 5-on-5. Then not against Colorado. Did Barbie play tonight? Barbie did play tonight, and Barbie was in a lot of situations tonight. He didn't score, but he was in a lot of situations, right?
He had a missed chance, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a couple of missed chances, actually. I'm telling you, the cola problem still runs the NHL. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. Yeah, that Ryan, you're dead on there. I'm with you there. Not against the speed like Colorado. We don't want 4-on-4. I agree. That's what I was saying, bud. Well, guys, we're at the 30-minute mark, and I'm upset enough that I want to write about this. I want to find a good way to write it, so I want to clear my mind. Clear my mind. Have a good one. We'll be on tomorrow night during the Battle of Alberta. I think we'll be on at least for some of that. Guy, I still think for some unknown reason the Blues just aren't sound at home in the playoffs. And the problem, sometimes it's circumstances, and I don't know what it is, but we won what? Two of the 3 games against Minnesota. You won 2 out of 3 at home, right? So you split that. You won 2 out of 3 at home. Losing the both here. Ashley says missed chances. Oops. Yeah, take that off. There we go. Missed chances. The whole damn team had them. Doesn't help that if they cannot capitalize. And that's true. I'll give her that. Mm-hmm. I'll give her that. And thank 20 people watching me for 30 minutes. I really appreciate that. You guys are keeping up. Thank you so much. Wendy, thanks for coming down. We love it. Hopefully, if you're available, come on tomorrow as we talk more about what's going on in the NHL.
Yeah, I should be.
Say again?
I should be able to.
Okay, no problem. Have a great night, everyone. This is Guy, the Y Blues fan, for Nick from Windy City Hockey saying aloha mahalo, and for Markle from Coast to Coast, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Aloha, and you got to know that I'm bleeding blue with you.